Today, we are going to continue on what we have long ago started, which is the HTML and CSS. And today, we are going to close it up with what? A project. And the project will be how to build a landing page using HTML and CSS. So, without further ado, let me share my screen and let's get started. So please, if you can see my screen, please kindly let me know in the chat box. If you can see my screen, kindly let me know in the chat box. All right, so I guess everyone can see my screen. I will open my VS Code. I created a new folder called project. Inside the new folder, I will create a file called index.html and another file called index.css. In the CSS, I want to define my root variables and also constant style as well. So here, I'm using the asterisk and the curly brace to define my default styles. So I'm setting the paddings margin to 0 pixels and then the box sizing to what I'll be using for the landing page. In the HTML, I'll go further to let me change my theme to a better one. All right, so I guess everyone can see it this way. So let me generate my templates. These templates, I will have to edit the title and put it landing page. And let's get started. Remember, inside the body tag is where every element we want to display to the browser will be shown. So without further ado, let's create a div element and add all of our other elements and sections or semantics tag in it. So here, I'll create a div called container. So inside that, this wrapper is our main parent, okay? It's a kind of sub-parent, okay, to every of other elements. So inside this wrapper, so these are the two divs. So I'm using a shorthand to generate the divs and the class. So here, inside the two divs, let's first create a header. So we want to what? Create a header using a semantic header tag. So we want to give this header a class of what? A class of header. And inside the header, we'll have two children in it, which is what? the logo section and what the logo side, okay, and the logo view, and the nav view. All right. So inside the nav view, we will now have a list of URL elements. So inside the URL element, we will now add what? Li element to list all of our lists. So we starting, let's say we want a list of 4 li elements. So we have to what? Use the asterisk, and now what do we add into the li elements? So let's start it up with what? A home. So I have generated my templates here. So, oh, sorry. So I will say I want to generate what? A home text in it. So here we have my home text. So here, let me just put what? The service, contact, and about. So this is what we have for the header. Now, let me click on my go live so that we can see what I have in my browser. There is no logo yet, and that's why it's displaying this way. So for logo, let me quickly go to the browser and get a logo. So let me quickly just use one. Okay. Let me just use this. I don't want this. The one does the logo. I think it's okay this way. So let me just save this guy. Or rather, try to download. Okay. More. I think this is a big time long process. So let's just say Facebook logo, Facebook logo image. I'll just go to the image and get one of them. So let's use this. Let's save. Where do I want to save it? So I want to save it in the project file here. File name is logo. So let me save. So in my landing page, my logo should be inside the project here. So here, let me quickly add this logo in an image tag, and put this part of logo or JPG here, and also add an alternative description which will be a logo. So if I save and go to my browser, I'll see that the logo has been added. Let me quickly add up a width so to size the image and a height as well. Let's say 100 pixels. All right. And also give it a, as you can see, it's stretched. So let's give it a class of what? Logo view image. In this nav, we have a class of nav links, and here we have a class of links here. So all these we have M class, which will be what? Class of link. So we save. Now let us import our style.css at the header side with a link tag, and now add our index.css here. So let's click and see that we are getting there. Okay, yeah, we are there. So here is what we have, and we can add our CSS here and have all of our styling displayed. So let's say you want this header to be what, 100%, and we want the height to be 10 ph. And we want to give it a background color of background colors. So I have here, as you can see, this is how our header is. Here we need to display flex to align the content inside it. So they are now aligned what, close to each other. But that's not what we want. We want to what, give it a space, and let's say justify space around and take a look at how it is, or space between. So the two of them are what, aligned at the end of each. So here I have what, an image which says what's the style, logo view, or logo view image. So we have logo view image here. Since we are having a style separate, let's add all the styles into the style.css, index.css. Here we'll say the width will be 50 pixels and the height will be 100 pixels. Or 50 pixels. Okay, so this is the way it is now, and we would want to make it round. So border radius of 25 pixels. Make it round. Yeah. So here we now have our round logo, and let us go to the nav and style the nav. So let's use a background color to specify where we are, if we are actually in nav or not. All right, so there is no class named nav, rather it's what, nav links. So here we paste the link, and let's see we are here. So in this guy, let's say that we want to give the logo view image, the logo view, a width of 10%. And here we want to also give it a margin left of 1 rem. So it now has what, a specified margin from the left. So here at the nav length, let's give it a width of 60%. So we have a list of 50%. Let's make it 50. All right. So here we will now display flex to make it aligned to each other. Oh, sorry. I forgot we have another one that is called what? Links. It's called links. So inside the links, let's display what? Flex. Okay. And let's remove the unwanted dots around each other. So for that, we'll use what? A text decoration, sorry, a list style for that, and set it to none. So here, let us give a spacing by using what? A justified content space around. So we have a space, a spacing, an equal spacing, and around all of them. So let us bring all this to the middle of the header element. So to do that, we have to use what? Align items for that and set it to center. So as you can see, all the elements are now aligned in the center of the header, which is what we want. So here we have what? We have the links. We have the link here, and let's set the link to what? Test transform to what? Aligns. As you can see, all of the links are now what? Being capitalized. And here we want to what? Create a hover effect on this link. And we want, once we hover on this link, each of the link, what will happen? We want a border. We want the border bottom of the link to what? Bg color of what? Uh, primary color. Okay, and we also give it what? A padding bottom of 0.5 rem. So when we hover, all right, let's use margin. Okay, still the same. Hold on. Let me remove this background color so you can see what we are doing. Sorry, let me get the style here to the color here to be bar. I want to make it to be, so we need a white color here. So let's set it to white. So this white we have our colors this way. Okay. So we want to set it to our white color. So on hover on each of them, a margin, a border bottom to be 2 pixels solid, then our color. So when we create the background, and we say . Okay, so we have the padding of 0.2 rem here, so which makes it looks great. So here, let's create the second section of the landing page. Remember, this is the header. So here we need to what? Create second section of the landing page. So let's create a section interest. Okay. So this is a div that have okay, this is a section that have a class of about. All right. So this section that have a section class of about, we have inside the h2. Okay, the h2 we have uh, this is what we do. This is what we do, and also a paragraph that contains. Let's use a lorem that contains a lorem of 50 words. So here we have our about page. So let's take a look at the browser and see what we have. So here, let's start the about us page. There, we'll target the about us width to be 80% from the total width. And now, okay, now make it, and now we want to target the about us, the direct div of the about us. I want to change this guy to 100 and make this width to be 80%. Okay, so let's add a background color to check what we have. So here we can say, because we have set this flex direction to column, so this justify content works reverse to what it would have been. So here, to set it to the center, we'll now use what? Align items and set it to center. So we have our about us now that is in the center. So let us add a height of 40 VH, or rather 30 VH, and see how it looks. All right. So let's make it 50 VH. Okay. So let's say green. Okay. So let's create a height here of 100% to inherit the height of the parents. And here we'll add a little padding and set it to 1 rem. So here we want to also set the about us that have the div that have the, or let's set the about us that have the div that, let's use the each selector to select the child in all of them. So let's say we want the H2, we want the H2 and the P paragraph, the H2 and the P, or we want the H2 to come down to have a margin bottom of 2 ren. H2, okay, we have a div, the direct div that have an H2, okay. So here we go. So we now have, so let's set this guy to center with test align and set it to center. As you can see, we now have our heading in the center of the page. So let's target this also to about us that have a div that have a p element in it, and set the width to 80% to the overall height, and also set it to be in the center. Just align to center. Okay, so this about, we want to display it flex, sorry, okay, yeah, we want to display it flex and justify content center. Flex direction to column. So instead of this justify content, we will now use what? Align content to center. This is what we have, and this is very sweet. So here we'll now give this guy a margin from the header. So let's say margin top of 2 ren. Okay. So here we'll now remove the background color and make it what? The background color that we have already defined by using the var that has the background color of primary color. This is what we have here, or rather I will place it here. This is what we have here, and we'll also make the text to be font. Let's add a font size, make it to font size of medium. Okay, because this is okay. So let us create the services here. Now create what? Div that have a class of services. Have a class of services, and these services we have 3 div. We have three div elements in it that will hold same class name, which is service card, and that's inside all of them. It will be 3. So inside all of them, we want to add a card, which is we want to add a heading 2. Okay, so this heading 2, we want to include a text. So let's add a dummy text here first and say we are into designs, right? And also add a paragraph tag that shows a blurring of 30 words. So we now have what? 3 set of, as you can see, We have three sets of cards that we are going to be displaying shortly. So inside the service, let us define the service. So we say service here we have what? A width of 100%. Span to the browser width. So this service we have a height of 80 VH. Yeah, styling. Okay, since there is nothing like services rather. Okay, so we have our services, and first thing we want to do is to also add what? A margin top to it of like 3 rems, separate it, and also we want to get the we want to flex all the cards. So we say display flex to flex all the cards. You can see it's now flexed. I want to create a lorem. We want to create, let's start the surface cards. Let's start the service cards and give it a box size, a box shadow and down, and 0 pixels to left and right. And now let's adjust the opacity or the saturation to, let's say, 5 pixels, and let's add the color. And the color that we are going to add is our primary color. So you may not be seeing it now, but it's actually showing. So let's give it a width of what? Let's give each and every one each and every one of them a width of 30. And if you calculate 30 into 3 is 90. So both of them will share what? So here we said, so this is what we have now. And here, let's remove this background color so you can see what we have done. So this is what we have done. So let's set a height of 30 VH, hit 30. Yeah. And let's also create a padding of 1 rem for the cards. And let's set the service card that has heading, that has H2, and also style it this way. It has H2 to be have a margin bottom of 1 rem. Okay, so this looks nice. And yes, so let's create a heading here that indicates what services we provide, and add it the services we provide. So here, to get that H2, we have to target the services, and we want the H2 that is directly following it to have a margin top or margin bottom. Okay, so to this, it's affecting it. So how do we do this? we'll now create a div element that will wrap all other elements and name it service wrapper, services wrapper. So let us wrap every other ones with the services wrapper. So inside the services wrapper, we now have this display, flex, and otherwise. Okay, so let's create a width that will inherit the parents, and pg color of blue. Let's see what we have. Okay, we are not targeting it. Services wrapper. So let's see. Okay, so services wrapper. Something is wrong somewhere, and we are going to find it. So we have this color range. Okay, it's covering it. So here we want to create 35 content space around, and this guy, and this card will be width of 30, width of 100%. Why is this not aligning very well? Why is this not aligning very well? So service wrapper. Okay, service wrapper. So or should it be here? Okay. So now have it. So yeah, you can say you want to display this, want to set the, let's get this up. Always remember, in terms of CSS, remember to make the style in stack according to the way the element is being displayed. So the V2 will now have margin just align center, and we have margin bottom of 2 range. Okay, and here let's make the height inherit. Okay, so we have this. Let's make it 60% or 80%. Okay, so let's make the height of this card to span all the way down to 80%, and let's add more of the lorem inside each other. So we want to get this guy service card. So let's target all the service card here. So this is all the service card. And we want to style every service card. So we are in the key elements, and here we want to copy all this guy and duplicate it. Let's see how it appears. Okay, I think it's better this way. So here, let's go to the view and align content, align items to center. So we now have what a sweet layout for this. So let's set this guy to 1 rem. So this is what we have. We have what we share. We have the the services we provide. The services we provide. Okay. So let's add a little hover on all these cards. So here we'll say card service card. We want to add a hover and say when it hovers, what will happen? So on this service card, let's create a transition here, and the transition we want to create is what? Transform. Okay, and we set the time and we set it to we set the effect to is in and out. So here we want to what? Get the transform here. Okay, so the transform we have translate. Okay, so we want to translate y here. So y is a kind of the vertical axis. Okay, so here we say go up to 10% on hover. So let's check it. Okay, so I send the transition. So it goes up to, let's make it 5%. So it goes up. So let's make it to be a quick transition. Okay, yeah. So this is more cool. So here we want to what? Add a contact layout. So let's go to, remember we have two divs that is wrapping all of our elements. So let's go here and create what? A contact view. Create a contact class. Inside the contact, we'll have two sections, which is an image wrapper section, and we'll have a contact info section as well. Contact info section. Inside this contact info, you can now have what? A bit of styles. You have a H2. Okay, this H2 we have, let's say this is, or contact us, contact us. We also have what? A div element that will have other tags like address, contact, and location. So we'll have a div element that will have just the info. Okay, so inside the div element, you want to add, you want to add an address, which is location. So, and the location, want to put the location in a span. Okay, so that span, we want to create a span that will have what? Span of three span that will append all of that into it. So the three span we have location. So here we set space. Second, let me get water. Sorry, guys. So we have created our contact layout that have three span inside it. This one we have location. Let's say it's located at number 45. Hence layout, upper view, upper view, and here we create what address. So let's create this address. Sorry, phone. Let's create this phone to have. Let me use my number here: 08169543479, or rather, +234. Yeah. Okay. So you can inside the contact. Okay, you can inside the contact info create if okay, and say that the form you have a class of form, contact form, contact form. So this form class of class of form that will have in it inputs of of type. It will be, let's say, tray. Okay, so we have an input type of text. Okay, we created three input type of text. Okay, let's leave this. Replace email. Okay, here add your phone number and folder. I would say this folder. I would say add your or rather a test area here. Okay, we say add your. Let's create. Okay, so that is it. So this is the contact view. So this is the contact view. Now let's add a little styling to this contact view to make it look a bit better. So here, let's go to the CSS and create a contact selector. And firstly, add a background color to make sure that we are actually targeting what we are meant to target. So we'll give this guy a BG color of, sorry, give this contact a width of 100%, give it a height of 40 VH. So for now, this is what we have. So inside this contact, we will create another div. So this, let's create this image. So permit me to still use the logo image as well for this. So it will be logo and contact logo here. Okay. So here, let's create a div that will wrap all of these contents and name it contact wrapper. So this div, we bring it down until it gets to this point. So here, we will now call on the contact wrapper and make sure that we are there with a background color of green. Okay, so here you can now set this guy to what, a width of 70%. And now here you can say we want to display this guy flex. Okay, and we want to add a flex direction of column, and we want to align it in the center. Okay, so this is our contact view. So this contact view, let's adjust what is inside of it. So this guy have a display. It has contact wrapper. It has an image wrapper. So let's display them. Let's display flex and justify content. Okay, let's just display flex. Okay, so they are close to each other. So we don't want much spacing to them. You don't want the spacings more spaces on them. All right. So we have to go on the image wrapper. This image wrapper, we want to do what? We want to add a height of inherit. Okay. Want to add a height of inherit. And this guy will. So here, we'll now add a width. Let's say 40%. Okay. And here to the image that it holds, which is contact logo. Contact logo. We want to create an object fit of cover. Okay. So logo. Okay. Logo. Okay. Contact logo. Okay. So object fit to so that it will cover the width that it is wrapping it. So here we want to get to the contact information. So this contact information will be on the same div, or rather a separate div with this. So we'll create a div that will wrap the contacts top view, top view. So this div will wrap this form, this contact info. So we now have two current dates. So we now have two direct parents this form. So here we will now say contact wrapper displayed it to flex, and we have this guy contact view. So contact wrapper will not be displayed flex any longer. Okay, so this is the way it will appear. Okay, so here let's display this guy flex. Okay, so this is what we have here. Let us increase this guy to 80 VH. We have a 80 VH contacts layout, and here we can now style this accordingly. So this contact wants to break those spans that is in it. So we add a break tag here to break it, and what again? So what again? So we break the contacts. Okay. So let's get the contact info. Contact us. So let's get the contact info. Contact info here. Let's use background color as always to know where we are. Okay. So here we say brown. So we are yet to target it. Contact info. Oh God. a path. So this is a div that have a class of contact info. Sorry, a minute. But I can work later on the class. So here, so here we now have what? Our div here. Okay. So let's see if it has yes. So on this contacts image wrapper, so here we have so here we have 40% of the image. Let's make it 60 and see what will happen. Okay, okay. So 40% on this image have a width of auto. Okay, and okay, and now or 100%. Okay, have a full width of 100%. And this contact info we have a width of 60%. Let it contain all. Yeah. So here, or rather, okay, 60%, or rather 40%. Okay, a height, have a height of 30 pH. Okay, and we'll just display flex and add flex direction column and align content and justify content to center. Okay, so here this is what we have. So let us now style our font. Let's add a bit padding left to one rim. Okay, get the form. Let's check if we are truly in the form. In these contacts, we have a background color of the one we defined. Yes, 100 BG. Yeah, so we have a background color of this. Okay, so let's say we have a form. Let's say we have a form. So we have a form. Say BG color of the form will be red. Okay, and we have the height of 30 VH. Okay, so inside these contacts, we remove the height so that it will span to our content. So here we have the form. So the form should have H2, the H2 reach out to us, reach out to us. So here we have a form, the form that has in the form that has an input, okay, the form that has an input, or rather, let's display this guy to block form, form that has this guy and this guy has inputs, okay. So form display to flex direction column, okay. So form that has, okay, so let's say input that have an attribute type, that have a type attribute that is equal to what? Text, okay. We want to add padding to it for the items inside of it, like one rem, and we want to make the width, or rather, since we want this to span amongst all of them, so we can use the pseudo class is to get our input and the text area, and say we want these guys to what? Have a padding of one rem, okay. So it's adding to everyone, and we want the width, to be 30%, okay. Let's say 50%, okay. And we want to add a break, so let's say margin top to each other will be one rem, okay. So will be one rem. So in the form, let's remove the height as well, okay. Will be one rem, and the let's make the border radius of 20 pesos, okay, of 10 pesos, and reduce the height to be 10 em, or 2 em, okay, 2 em, 3 em, okay. So this is better. 3 em for the input though. So here we want to also make the placeholder, okay. So we want to target the placeholder, okay. Placeholder, so it has a placeholder, okay. Placeholder. Oh, I'm actually trying to use a SAS way. So a place, so input and text area, we have placeholder, want to target the placeholder, okay. Um, let's transform, capitalize, Okay, so now have all capitalized and want to create a padding, let's say of one rem to this form. Okay, so here want to make the width the mass content, or rather the 50%. Okay, and make this guy the 100%. Okay, so here, so from the look of thing, I guess we may have to get this form. We have to get this form to span just below here. So let us change the formation again. So this form, we have to be inside this guy, inside this guy. The contact info is here, the image is there. We have contact top view. Okay, so let us display this contact wrapper flex. Alright, and display contact info, contact top view, contact top view. Contacts top view. BG color, let's check where we are. Let's use green. Okay, let's display it to flex and make the flex direction to the column, so it will come down, and now add the width of this guy to 50% or more. Okay, so the form we now have to span to 100%. Yes, so I think that is it. So you want to, so here we may have to target, so here we may have to target contacts, contact info that have H2. So we say contact info that has H2. Okay, I want to make the text transform to be uppercase. Contact info, this contact info. Okay, contact info. Okay, so let's use the is. So we want contact info, and form that has H2, and then take this guy. Okay, so we now have it achieved. And once again, we just want to style only the contact info now. So contact info that has H2 directly, want to make it the margin bottom. I'll give it a margin bottom of 1 rem. Okay, and also margin bottom of 1 rem. So what happened? happening here? What's H2? That did not come. Okay, contact info. Contact info. And form. And form. Dot form. Contact info. Dot form. Okay. Contact info. Dot form. As H2. As H2. Okay. Sorry, this is a class. Okay. So say contact info dot access to directly have margin button of like one ring. Okay. So let's make this contact info. Let's make this contact info, or rather the info in it. Dot info, and give it a width of like 40%, 70%, 100%. What is wrong? What is wrong? So let me give it a color. Check what is wrong. So this is where it is. 100%. Contact info 70%. Okay. Yeah. So we have 70% here. So let's add some margin this contact info that has span directly. Okay. And create what do we want to create here? We want to make a margin bottom to like one ring. Okay, info that has span. It has span. Info that has span. Info has span. No. So the info that has span. That there's no DG color. Right. Has span. Okay. So let's use the ninth child here. So dot info dot ninth child. We want the first child. We want the first child has this color. Ninth child dot info dot ninth child dot ninth child one. Okay, so we have gotten it. So we want to add this, add some spaces, extending this guy, but unfortunately it's not adding. How do we do this? Adding button. Let's use padding on it and say 100. So maybe we add more of this guy. I think it's better this way. Okay. So here we have our contacts. Oh, we have our address. Our address here. This is address and this is phone. And you can also contact us on this view. So what next? So when we click, okay, so let's add a submit button to this form. So button ATM that has a button that has a submit button that has a submit will be submit. So have it here, and we'll also use a div to wrap it up. Name this div BTN wrapper. Okay, so let's tie the BTN wrapper. The BTN wrapper. The BTN wrapper. We have. I want to make it a width of 20%. Percent. Okay, 20%. Now, BTN wrapper that has a button inside. I want to make it that has a button inside. We want to make it so we want to make it I want to make it a width of 100%. Okay, so let's increase this guy to 40%. Okay, and also margin pin top of 1 rem and left and right of 0 pixel. Okay, so we create a height. So we create a height of 2 em, 4 em. Okay, so let's use VH, 5 VH height. Okay, so 3 em, and let's make the height to be 100%. Okay, so here we have 2 em. Okay, here want a border radius of 5 pixel. Border radius of 5 pixel. Okay, and we want the transform to be capitalized. And we want the background color be our primary background color. We want the inside color inside to be our white, and we want to remove the border to none. All right, so this is our form. Okay, so we need to remove the border of this input as well. So let's say border to be none. Yeah, it now looks more okay. So let's say the outline. So those background checks, when we focus on each input, we have disabled it. Okay, you can also set it or line style to be outline color to be our primary color. So when we click, we now have the primary color on it as well. So here, I guess we are set. So let us adjust our image to height to be 100%. Okay, so it's now the same as here. So let's cover our dot form, our input that has text area. Form that has text area to have a height of, let's say, 2 em. Okay, 2 em, height of 2 em. So how can we do this? Okay, height of 1015 VH. Okay, because it's a text area, so it should appear as one. Okay, so this is splendid. So what else? So let's make these guys a white heading. This contact us and reach out to us. So we check this guy. I want to make the color to be the default white color. Okay, okay, or our primary color. Okay, I guess this looks more okay now. Okay, so let us create. We have create home, service, contacts. This is about. This is contacts. This is service. This is contact us. So let us just add a footer to round up our landing page. So here you can say what? Use a footer element to wrap our div, to wrap what will be in our footer. I want to have a heading. Okay, want to have a H2. H2 we have uh, you can reach out. You can reach out to us. You can reach out to us.
Hello, Prince Will.
Hello.
Yeah, please read your message, your private message.
Okay. All right. Done. All right, guys. So here we have, you can reach out to us with our below quick links, below quick links, and add a p paragraph that will that add a p paragraph that will hold what, a copy. Okay, copy logo definitely, and also a list. So we also have what, a list, which is a URL that will have a li of, let's say, three, because we want to add our Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So we say this, that will have what, let's add the first one, which is LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Okay, so this is what we have here. So we have LinkedIn, we have LinkedIn, we have Facebook, and we also have Twitter. We also have Twitter. Okay, so here, this guy, no, a class of footer, a H2. Okay, and this footer wraps everything here. So this is what we want to achieve. So let's go to the browser and get something from the browser, which is copy symbol HTML. Copyright symbol HTML code. Okay, so here, we can see, so here you can get the copyright. So here, this is a trademark. Okay, so let's check the copyright code. Okay, so this is it. So we run it up. So here we can now add this and say source in, business, source in business, internship 2022. Let's take a look at our landing page. Okay, so we now have the copy. So let's, as usual, we'll style. Let's put this link here. Class name of footer links, and here the class name of footer link. Okay, so in our CSS, let's come down here and say dot what footer. We want to use the background color to know where we are. Let's set it to red. So we are at the actual space. So let's set the margin top to 2 range. So we now have what the margin top at it. So here we say we want to align everything to center. Let's align to center. Yeah. Okay. So we align everything to center. We add a line height, each of them like 3. Okay. Let's make it 2. Okay. So target our links, footer links, footer links. So the footer links that we have, we remove as usual the dot that comes along with it to what none. Okay. We display flex. Okay. And justify content towards center. Okay. So create a width, let's say green color. Okay. We specify a width here of let's say 40%. Okay. So justify a width of 40%. Okay. So this width, inside this width, we want to make this guy to be space around. Okay. So, okay. Let's leave this width. Let's leave this width. So you can say LinkedIn, Facebook, and this guy is same. So now let's target the link. Let's target the footer link. Let's target the footer link. And the footer link, we have it. What again? We transform the links to what? Capitalize. Okay. And let's give it a bit margin. Bit margin top of 1 rem. Right. So there we go. So let's make this guy to have a background color of our default var. Let's say dark color and make the text to be white. The colors to be what? Our var color and make it to be white. Like so. So as you can see, you can now check out our landing page and you can now check out our landing page and let's just run a quick stuff here to make our nav clickable. So we can say we have the about us page, so we can use an ID here and specify what about us page and use service here and specify use service page to say service and use here an ID to say contacts, and here. So when we click on this guy, something is wrong somewhere. So contacts, service, okay. So what? Well, probably I will drop the link to the repo of this section right after this class. So this gets me to the end of this class or the end of this section. Thank you very much and stay tuned. It's always my classes. All right. Do have a great day. Bye.